What is your name?
My name is Nilo Guanzon. I'll just look at her, okay?
Where and when, city and country, were you born?
I was born a very long time ago. I was born in Manila, the Philippines.
Why did you choose Minneapolis?
I was living in New York, and when an opportunity came up, we found in our research that Minneapolis is the best place to raise kids. So my ex-wife and I decided to come here because of our children.
When did you immigrate?
1980.
What were the conditions like in your home country before you left?
It was the conditions were such that there was such a very big divide in terms of economic positions. The rich were very rich, the poor were very poor, and there was a small middle class. I fortunately belong to the upper class.
What made you want to leave your country?
I fell in love. Uh, my wife, at the, I met my first wife, who was Swedish, or is Swedish. She was going to the university, and we met. But because she's Swedish and she stuck out like a sore thumb in the Philippines, around people like me, we decided that perhaps we should go somewhere else. So we went to Sweden, and in Sweden, where everybody is just about everybody is blue-eyed and blonde, I stuck out like a sore thumb. And then we decided, let's go to the melting pot. We ended up in New York. So it was all because of love that I left the Philippines.
What difficulties have you had in the U.S.?
First of all, it was my accent. You can hear my accent, right? As an English teacher, I had a difficult time. I spoke perfect English grammatically. I don't make grammatical mistakes, but I had a different accent. So it worked against me when I was looking for an English teaching position. And then the second challenge was learning to be poor. I didn't know what it was like to be poor till I came to the States. And lastly, being treated differently because of my skin color.
Do you consider yourself an American? Why or why not?
Given the values that we have in the country of appreciating individuality, and also just embracing the whole middle class kind of way of life here that it was absent from my own country. Yeah, I think, and the democratic principles along as well. I do consider myself American. I've lived more years here than I did in the Philippines.
What's different? Like, what are some things that are different from?
For one thing I found among Americans is that Americans are cheap. You go to a bar or you go out to dinner. It was very strange to me that people divided the bill to the cent. That was absolutely crazy for me. Because if I have money and the three of us went out, I'm paying for it, no questions asked. It was always that way in the Philippines, whereas here, if you ordered a Coke and fries and I ordered a Coke, I'm not going to pay for any part of your fries. So when we split the bill, I only paid for that Coke. That was hard for me. And people really counted, so they were very conscious about that. And what else is there? Yeah, then I think what's different is that in name, we're supposed to be welcoming, but we're not. And in the Philippines, you pretty much knew where you stood in terms of your class and even your race, because in the Philippines, if you were a dark-skinned Filipino, they regarded you differently. So there was a time when my parents would get mad at me for being out in the sun and I would get dark. And I like getting dark. But dark skin was already associated with something negative.
Um, did you speak like English?
I grew up speaking English.
So it wasn't hard when
It
you
wasn't
came
hard.
here?
No.
Okay.
I was bilingual from as long as I remember language. Yeah.
Did you have any problems adapting or anything?
Language-wise?
No, adapting to new things here that was different?
Yeah, how to drive was different. We follow rules here. We don't follow rules in the Philippines. A stop sign over there, for example, means slow down. Here you stop, I think give me the question again.
Like what's different? Like how is it different adapting?
Adapting. Adapting. Adapting to the fact that kids have a say. Not you guys, all right? But once you turn 18, you can choose how you want to live your life. And that kids have an option not to go to college. I didn't know when I was growing up that I could choose not to go to college. So my own children didn't have a choice. And I'm just learning now, one of them doesn't want to go to college, doesn't want to continue college. And he's trying to exercise that. Another thing is, there's not a lot of regard for the elders in this country. Elders are regarded just as an equal. I mean, like you guys, when the students here start, they call me Mr. Guanzon. By 10th grade, they drop Mr. It's just Guanzon. But that's okay. I mean, it's a friendly thing. But it took a while for me to get used to that. For young people to call me by my name, and I think what else was hard. We were colonized by the States, so a lot of our systems are very similar to America. So there wasn't a lot to change. I think dealing with the race relations was hard.
Okay, I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Is this going to be shared in the whole class?